Warm welcome to all of you to my channel Gear to Action. In today's topic, we will discuss questions and answers on boiler survey and maintenance. Our learning checklist. What we will cover in this session. General requirement of survey. Frequency of survey for an auxiliary boiler. Planning for boiler survey. The scope of survey. Shutting down the boiler for inspection. Parts that requires particular attention during internal survey and external inspection or external survey. Survey for maintenance of class. Why do we need to have a survey? The surveys are done for maintaining the class. So, for retention of class, the regular, periodical and non-periodical surveys of hull and machinery including electrical installations as well as special equipment and installations and additional class notation shall be performed as per requirements. The general requirements of surveys are survey of auxiliary steam generators or boilers are to be carried out in conjunction with the intermediate survey and at class renewal survey. The survey consists of external and internal inspections of the steam boiler installations. Frequency of survey for an auxiliary boiler. Boilers are required to be surveyed twice in 5 years period. Boilers are also subjected to an external inspection as a part of the annual survey for machinery. Note: at least 2 surveys are to be carried out within any 5 years, but interval between 2 consecutive surveys is not to exceed 3 years. The scope of survey. Boilers are examined internally and externally within a periodicity of 2.5 years. For things to be done, boilers are emptied and suitably prepared for the examination. The water steam side are to be clean and fire side clean and cleared of soot. Where necessary, the insulation of the boiler are to be removed and external surfaces are to be made accessible for inspection. Subjected to the results of these examinations, what we have discussed till now, the surveyor may require non-destructive tests for detecting possible defects in critical areas of plating and shell pipes and stays, thickness measurements of plating and shell pipes and stays, furnace, Planning for boiler survey. Confirm time available as per vessel trading pattern, manpower, and estimated time required. Check for the required space like manhole door joints, gauge glass, packing and steam joints. Check the special tools required, that's gagging tool, torque wrench, rope, chain block, etc. Check maker's instruction manual for special instruction. Also, check the past records of last service. Consider the steam requirements for the next port. That is, tankers require steam in discharge port. Briefing to other engineers of work involved and carry out risk assessment and toolbox meeting. Shutting down the boiler for inspection. Before carrying out inspection, the boiler which is firing should be shut down. Below are the steps to be followed before shutting down the boiler for inspection. Inform the chief engineer and the duty officer. Top up diesel oil service tank. Change over main engine, auxiliary engine and boiler to diesel oil. Stop all tank heating and tracing steam. Stop heavy oil and lube oil purifiers if they are running. Change over boiler firing mode from auto to manual firing. Stop firing the boiler and purge boiler sufficiently for 3 to 5 minutes. Switch off power and off the circuit breaker for forced draft fan, fuel oil pump and combustion control panel. Display necessary notice that is tagging out. Shut main steam stop valve and shut all valves on fuel line system for boiler. Keep an eye on boiler water level. Stop the feed pump and close the feed valves. Allow the boiler to cool down below 100 degrees Celsius. Do not blow down now. Very important. Note: the boiler should not be depressurized by lifting the safety valves and then filled with cold feed water, as the stress induced by too rapid cooling may cause damage. When the boiler pressure is about 4 bars, carry out blowdown. When boiler pressure is slightly higher than atmospheric pressure, that's about 0.5 bar, remember to open the vent cock to prevent formation of vacuum. Once boiler is sufficiently cooled, empty the boiler and close all valves. If the boiler is connected to the second boiler, check that the valves between them are closed. Mark the nut on the top of manhole. Unscrew and remove the top manhole hatch on the boiler first and secure it with a rope. Knock the manhole door gently, but do not open it, as it may contain steam or hot water. Confirm nothing coming out. Open the door fully with the help of securing rope. Do not open the bottom door immediately, since the boiler is still hot, and if opened relatively cool draft of air will pass through the boiler, causing a thermal shock. Allow boiler to cool down further before opening bottom manhole door. Open the bottom manhole door with the same precautions and open the furnace side door also. Ventilate the boiler sufficiently prior making entry. Then check for oxygen, flammable vapor and toxic gases. If it is safe, prepare for entry. Follow permit to work and checklist. Use proper PPE. Parts that requires particular attention during internal survey. We have to inspect some parts. Those are following parts that require particular attention during internal survey. Foundation. Boiler supports bolting and securing arrangements, that's fixed and sliding seating, chocks, rolling, stays if any, etc. to be examined. And in furnace, what we check? Check for distortion. Distortion mainly due to overheating, that's excessive scaling, excessive thermal stresses, etc. Flame impingement across the path of the flame. Check the condition of refractory. Check furnace bottom should be free of oil deposits. Shell, tube plates and tubes. Check for deformation, corrosion, wastage, crack, etc. Inlet tube ends for erosion and corrosion. Reason in way of normal water range for cavitation, fitting, etc. Weld cracks in the way of wall openings. Wastage in the way of manhole and handhole flanges. Boiler mountings and safety valves. All boiler mountings and safety valves, including calibration of pressure gauge, are to be examined at each survey and opened as considered necessary by the surveyor. The proper operation of the safety valve is to be confirmed at each survey. Boiler safety valve easing gear is to be examined and tested satisfactorily. All boiler mountings, soot blows, main steam stop valve, air vent valve, scum valve, feed stop and check valve, water level gauge glass including cocks to be overhauled, manhole covers, sampling valve, blow down valves, pressure gauge calibration. All the mountings are to be removed, dismantled and inspected properly. Hydraulic test. To be carried out if alteration or repairs have been carried out on highly stressed parts. If there is a major tube renewal, it has to be done. Cell plating renewal. This is done usually 1.5 times the maximum working pressure for at least 30 minutes. It can be requested at the discretion of the surveyor if he needed. External survey. Upon completion of the internal survey, the boiler is to be examined under steam with the fuel oil burner and safety devices to be checked under working condition. Before startup. When the boiler is started, the lighten up rate of the boiler must not be accelerated too much, as this might cause an unnecessary overstrain of the boiler material by quick and uneven temperature rises. It might be necessary to perform a number of start-stop sequences to reduce the lighten up rate. The burner must therefore only be operated at minimum load and in intervals of 1 to 2 minutes for the first hours. Between each operation interval, the boiler should remain stopped for approximately 8 to 10 minutes. Open the feed water valve and the air valve. Fill the boiler with feed water to approximately 50 mm below normal water level. The water level rises due to expansion when the boiler is heated. If the temperature difference between the boiler and feed water exceeds approximately 50 degrees Celsius, the boiler must be filled very slowly. Very important. Start and pressurize. Check that gas board valve and pressure gauge valves are open. Check that air valve is open if the boiler pressure is below 1.01. We are talking here about the air vent coke. Start the burner on manual control and on low load. Check that the water level does not rise too high during the pressure rising period. Drain via the blow down valves if the water level is too high. The air valve should be closed when only steam blows out. A pressure reading should be indicated on the boiler pressure gauge before the air vent valve is closed. Retighten all covers such as manhole, handles, inspection door, flanges, etc. during the pressure rising period. If required, check all flanges joints on the plant. Change to automatic control of the burner when the boiler pressure is 0.5 bar lower than the working pressure of the boiler. Alarm test. We have to check for the water level high alarm, water level low alarm, water level low automatic shutdown with alarm, forced draft fan or flame failure automatic shutdown with alarm. Logbook. Review of boiler operation and feed water records. Manual emergency shutdown. Boiler, forced draft fan and fuel oil servicing pumps are to be fitted with remote means of control, situated outside the space in which they are located so that they can be stopped in the event of fire. Testing of local emergency stop function. Now finally, as a chief engineer, how would you set the safety valve after rising the steam pressure? Please check on my previous video for safety valve in my channel. The link is for the video is given here. Thank you so much for watching this. Hope this is of some help to you. Thanks. Have a great day.